What's going on, Ben? It's Guys here, and today we are going to be ranking all 44 brawlers in Brawl Stars, and I hope you guys enjoyed my little brain teaser of an intro. But that's right, we're going to be ranking the worst brawler all the way to the best brawler in one video here. The meta has changed a lot since my last ranking video. We have a lot new brawlers as well. It's kind of crazy to see the changes. And today's list was also made by a good friend of mine, an awesome pro player, amazing player in Brawl Stars / here. So I'll leave a link to his channel in the description below. Go check it out after you're done watching the video. He is almost at 10,000 subscribers. Let's get him there. As well as if you guys want to help support the channel more, be sure to use code B2 in the shop if you're gemming. As well as one more quick thing. Before we go any further, I just let you guys know I'm doing a Discord day event over on the Tribe Gaming's Discord server, discord.gg/Tribe Gaming. It's going to be a Q&A. We're going to do viewer games playing on my OP maps that I made. So if you guys want to join it, link in the description. It's going to start today, Wednesday the 24th, around 4 p.m. CST. That's 4 p.m. Central Time. I want to see you guys there. And also join my Discord server too, because why not? And link in the description as well. All right, hopping it into it here, getting into nitty gritty. 44th here, the worst brawler in the game. You didn't see that? The worst brawler in the game.
El Primo!
Primo. I actually agree with this now. He's the worst tank by far because of his low range. And it actually takes him quite a bit to get his super if you think about it. Now, this is an overall list, so we're looking at everything, even including Showdown. And Primo actually gets outclassed in Showdown now. There's just a lot better options. Primo needs some love. 43 on the list,
We have Shelly.
now I know Shelly with her super can take care of like 20 Q power brawlers. There's some crazy things you can't do with her. However, a lot of good teams know how to play around her, especially in 3v3. She falls off a lot. Shelly, they've buffed you a lot, but you still need some love. 42nd on the list. I was surprised to see this, but after playing him, I agree with it. It's Carl. Carl used to be one of the best brawlers, but they literally killed him with his range reduction. It's very hard to hit people. It feels kind of awkward now, and Carl just feels like an awkward brawler to play because you feel like you should be hitting these people when you're not. Maybe I'm just used to his old range. Carl, I miss your range. 41st on the list is Bo. The nerf to his totem made him not that great for charging supers, the unlimited Nani supers, the unlimited Taras or whatever. No more of that. Slash says he's literally only viable on 3 maps because of his circling eagle star power: Snake Prairie, Easter Famine, and Cavern Churn, all maps that have a ton of grass. 40th on the list here is the silly sausage Gale. In the document Slash sent me, it says, he literally said, Gale is just terrible. And his reason why, which I agree with, is he's a mid-range brawler with not a lot of DPS and or HP. Sometimes his damage is inconsistent. However, he does counter the tanks which are below him, so that's why he's above them. The super can have some niche uses, but with his jump pad, what was really good about him before, but now it's just like a little... And then before we get to the 39th brawler, I do have to say every brawler has niche uses where they can be good. So like, yes, some of those brawlers are ranked low and some modes are incredibly strong or can be played super well, but lists like this are subjective and or it's very looking at the overall bigger picture of how they fare some other brawlers. So if you don't agree with the list, let me know down below. But so far, I agree with everything, and even I agree with this next one here. 39th is Crow. I know that's going to trigger a lot of you because a lot of you maybe only play Showdown, which he's amazing, absolutely amazing in Showdown. But Crow is not the best in 3v3. He's mediocre. There's a lot of other brawlers that do things better than him, especially Byron. Heals, the poison damage. The only thing that Crow has going for him is this nice super, but it takes him forever to get that, even with his recent buffs. 38th on the list here is Dynamike. Now, there are some pro Dynamikes out there that are amazing with Dyna Jump and make him look OP, but it's still very hard to hit your shot. It's easily to be dodged, and then that means it's hard to get consistent damage. However, they buffed him a lot, so he's a lot more viable than he once was. It's just like Edgar's in the meta now. Dynamike has it rough right now. 37th, this was a surprise to me. 37th on the list is Spike. He just got one of the best skins in the game. Many people are going to say it's the best skin in the game. I still think Virus 8-Bit is. But it's more or less like people are learning how to dodge his spikes or stay away from him to get his damage. And he's actually very squishy. So it's like his high DPS output isn't as much as it used to be. So he's fallen off. Like I said, I'm still surprised to see it because I think he's a solid brawler. That's maybe the only one I don't agree with at the moment. 36th on the list is Leon. So the buffs to him helped him out a lot, but he's still mainly a Showdown brawler. So he got a lot better in Showdown, but 3v3s, the going invis to take out one brawler or get some location on the map, it really isn't that solid. And a lot of people now, or if you don't see the Leon, get by one of your teammates in case he's going invis. And even so, like, that's mainly in gem grab where Leon can make a turnaround play, but Brawl Ball, it's tough. Siege, it's tough. Like, Leon has it tough, man. 35th on the list is Lou.
What?
I thought Lou would be a little lower because I personally don't like playing him at all. It's hard to land your shots, but obviously this list is coming for a pro player where Slash has no issue with that. But Lou is really only good in Siege with his mechanic that can stop the bot, which honestly feels like is more of a glitch than anything. But Lou's mainly a siege brawler, and that's what hurts him a lot. 34th on the list is Poco, but the only reason Poco is this high is because of his healing effects if you have the right comp with him, where you have like tanks like Frank, even maybe Edgar, who's not a tank, but he jumps on other brawlers, you can heal him. Primo, Bull. Poco double tank is really, really nasty, but if you're looking at Poco individually, he's not a strong individual brawler with low DPS, and his new gadget really isn't that great either. 33rd on the list is Frank.
Thick Frank.
Very, very thick. However, that thickness comes at a cost where he has to stop to shoot, which has always been his downfall. Leaves him vulnerable for the enemies to just charge your supers, charge your supers, charge your supers. And it's very easy to actually avoid his super or he gets knocked out of it. He still can be solid though, especially in the little bit mid to lower trophies. 32nd is Brock, one of the old top brawlers, but the nerfs to the health, the nerfs to his damage, it makes him very easy to kill. He's not as potent of an attacker as he once was. 31st on the list here is Bull. Bull, there's some interesting things that you can do with him. He's a very good tank, only like kind of like second to like close range encounters to a Shelly super. However, at short range does get him in the late games once the maps start getting opened up more. He can be good though. He can be very good if he's not countered. 30th on the list here is Darryl. Slash says he's one of the worst tank options for 3v3s because he's like not the craziest tanky. He doesn't have the most damage output. His super is nice for in Brawl Ball, but other than that, it's a little tough at the moment for Darryl. 29th on the list, another surprise here is B. So B is a great counter to tankier comps. However, she's not great versus everything else. And then Byron being so strong in the meta too, it really hurts B because she's so squishy. Squishy brawlers in general and longer range brawlers, they fall to Byron, which we'll talk about in a little bit. And another thing with B, she's not good on close range maps either. And Edgar still is a thing too with that quick punches, bro. 28th on the list is Ems. It helped that they gave her more gadgets and stuff, but she still has that set range. And I just feel like people maybe figured out how to play against her. She still can be really strong if it's a lot of close range brawlers on the enemy team because she's still a great tank counter, but she struggles with Nita with her ranged options, and if it's close range map, it's really, really tough for her. So she's good on, very good on some maps, struggles on others. 27th on the list is Penny. Now she's a very good counter like Mr. P and Jessie and stuff and other turret brawlers because she gets her super, she's good to go, but she doesn't do crazy amount of damage unless everyone's stacked together, and it's actually quite hard to get her super, or it takes a little while. Now number 26 on the list here is Edgar. We were talking about him a lot earlier, but he's very good at countering throwers, but Tick got a new gadget that helps him out. People are learning how to deal with Edgars. Was I calling Byron Edgar earlier? I think I was. When I was talking about B, I meant Byron, okay? But for Edgar, you're gonna see him a lot because he was a free brawler and people love his mechanic. It charges on its own, so he's really good in solos. In maps where like there's a lot of throwers because he's inherently a good counter to throwers, minus the new Tick gadget and stuff. And other good brawlers he's good against is low DPS brawlers, but solid team play can really counter him. Now 25th on the list is Rosa. Now keep in mind, this list was made a little bit before Rosa's gadget and Nani's gadget got released. So Rosa might rise the ranks a lot because of her new gadget. That's just one thing to keep in mind. On grassy maps especially, you use that new gadget, you can see like everything. And she still has her super, she still has the punches. It's very impossible to kill her when she gets her super. It's crazy. And then with that new gadget, it's going to provide a lot of utility. So she might be rising up the ranks a little bit, but for now, if it was here as a preventive measure, you might know Rosa might rise up a few spots. 24th on the list is Colt. Colt used to be crazy with his old gadget and everything, but he's still good in heist, and he's still good for opening up the map with his gadget to counter like close range maps or other thrower brawlers because you can just break walls at will pretty much. So if you pair him with like appropriate brawlers who need the map opened up, he can be strong. 23rd on the list is Thick Pam. Still good with heals. She got a lot of thickness, a lot of damage. Pam's solid. I was surprised to see this one. 22nd on the list is Nita. So she's a very strong mid-range brawler on the closer range maps. Bruce is always a monster, but she still has her struggles versus like thrower brawlers and longer range brawlers, and that's why I was surprised to see her up here, but I do see the upsides, especially versus good Nitas. Nita's really annoying. 21st on the list, oh, is Surge. This teleport is amazing to get through walls, quick assassinations, and it's really, really effective in a lot of showdown scenarios or duo showdown scenarios too. But the build up with Surge takes quite a while, especially get to stage 4. He's still a very solid choice, but he's just not as potent as he once was. 20th on the list is Barley. Barley's got great heals, great sustained, a lot of damage, especially on maps with walls, and he can just zone out an area completely. If I see it, I like it, but I generally don't like facing it. Number 19 on the list here, we have Nani, which might move up a few tiers similar to Rosa because of the return to sender gadget, where you activate it, any damage you take gets returned to the sender, which can be amazing in a lot of scenarios. It just basically reflects all damage and she doesn't take it, so that could help a lot. However, we'll have to wait and see, but she's really good on the open maps, and there's kind of interesting plays you can do with peep and stuff. Not as much with bow out of the meta, but Nani is such a high skill cap because you have to land the shots with that unique skill pattern. It's like one of the highest risk, highest reward brawlers with how hard it is to hit the shots. 18th on the list here, we have Mortis. I was very surprised to see this, but he says counter comp king. If the enemies have low DPS, you will win, but if you are countered, it's hard to win. So that's why I was surprised to see Mortis this high up here. But Edgars are in the meta, Byron's in the meta, which gets bodied if he doesn't have a super. There's a lot of throwers in there too, like ticks and stuff, but that's why I was surprised to see this one up here.
Maybe he just Slash is a lover of Mortis. I don't know.
Number 17 on the list here is Rico. Great counter to tanks, higher skill cap with the bounces once again, but a lot of damage output that you can do. Both a different brawler. He's not as great as he wants to be, which we'll get into a little bit. 16th on the list is Jacky. The gadget with Jacky gives great mobility. I feel like Jacky's like falls in and out of the meta a lot, but she's always solid. She does so much DPS, especially versus squishy brawlers. Being able to hit her on walls, it's nasty. Don't play her on open maps though. 15th on the list here, we have Gene. So the damage buff help, his new gadget buff help, give him a shot in close range engagements and close up matchups, but he still struggles versus like turret brawlers like Mr. P, Jessie, sometimes Penny too. Mainly Mr. P and Jessie are just turret brawlers like Nita and stuff, and those are really like high up in the meta, so be wary and try and pick your teammates with Gene. But he's still great in duo showdown, gem grab amazing, so it can be used in siege and whatnot. Number 14, we have Tara. The new gadget helps her out on open maps or versus brawlers that have like single target shots, and Tara's just been really good for a really long time, so having a new gadget that gives her more versatility on different maps is really nice. 13th on the list is Jessie. She was way up there. She was probably the best brawler in the game before her little slight damage nerf, but despite the nerf, her damage output is still crazy. Jessie is a nuisance, and she is so annoying to deal with her turret. Whether you're using Shocky or even Energize, it doesn't matter. Jessie is very, very good, and I think this could still be quite low with how good she is. 12th on the list, I think this is quite low too, and I'm saying a lot, and I want this brawler banned.
I hate facing him.
It's Tick, and I don't know why they keep buffing him. He's not a fun brawler to play against. He's literally not. I think Brawl Stars needs to take into, this is a rant here, Brawl Stars should take into consideration the enjoyment factor of playing versus a brawler.
It is not fun playing against Tick. It ain't.
And they just keep buffed him. They buffed his damage. They gave him this amazing gadget that any sort of close range counter to him, he just immune and it blows them away and does damage. It's like the best, one of the best gadgets in the game. Immunity, knockback, damage. That's what Tick needed. It's like, I don't want him to get better. He was already good as it is. 11th on the list is Piper. This one I was like, what? Is Piper really moved up the meta this much? I was unaware. Piper was always a very niche brawler on open range maps. I still do think she should be a little bit lower, but you might, Slash pro player, they don't miss shots. So she's very high skill cap, but and then when she's not countered, but I still feel like there's a lot of turret brawlers in the meta, and this is where she kind of struggles a little bit. So that's why I think she might be a little bit lower personally. 10th on the list, we have Colette. I agree with this. Colette's really strong. She gets her super fast, basically 2 shots and a super. With a hits them twice, they're dead. She's a good tank counter. She's good. I don't know. Number 9th on the list here, we have Bibi. I was surprised to see this, but I do agree with it because Bibi's really annoying, especially good ones. And he says it's actually the best tank brawler in the game. And she has a lot of utility. The bubble's nice, the pushback, but she can quite get countered easily, like if the map gets just open up and everything. Number 8th on the list is Max. Max just got a lot of damage. The full team super. She's got a lot of versatility. She's been good for a very long time, and speed and quickness with Max is still there to stay. 7th on the list is a big swing. 8-Bit used to be one of the worst brawlers in the game a few months ago. Now he's one of the best brawlers. Turret, his damage, that speed helped him out a lot, but if he doesn't have his turret, it falls off. So 8-Bit's still like high skill cap, high reward, a lot of damage, but if you don't have a good turret and keep that turret up, it's a struggle. But he's one of the best brawlers in the game now. 6th on the list, Mr. P. Mr. P was like falls out of the meta, then he comes right back. His new gadget is ridiculous. You can have so many porters, and Mr. P is just like the ultimate counter to like single shot brawlers that just do high DPS one shots, and he's annoying to deal with too with his handle with care star power, bro. I don't know how you nerf him here. Maybe make his super get slower, because they made everything about his super worse and he's still good. 5th on the list, I'm happy to see this. One of the underrated legendary brawlers, and he's underrated for a very long time, is Sandy. He's always been good with the amount of damage he can do. It's just like it's slow damage. However, his super is very good in 3v3, that wide area range. I like using using root sands in all scenarios just to see the enemies, keep them weak if you need, and zone off an area. Root sand Sandy, happy to see you back in the meta. I missed you. Fourth on the list here is Colonel Ruffs. That's supposed to be a dog. Ruff, but besides the point, having power-ups for your team is crazy. Being able to break walls with the super is crazy. The sandbags are they're all right, but he does a lot of damage. He has bounce shots, which make him like a little bit better than Rico in a way. And the quick tap damage where you can just destroy fools is nice. Now, what's really good in team play though is you all stay alive. You all get boosted with your super. You have a serious advantage. So it's like a good ramp up game with him. He's really great. Third on the list. I don't know how he keeps making it back up here. It's Sprout. Maps with a lot of walls. Great coverage, great damage. He's crazy. The wall is broken in a lot of scenarios. Again, though, he's a thrower, so as the map gets opened up, he struggles a little bit, but he's still solid. Feels like a lot of brawlers that were good months ago are making comebacks for no apparent reason except for they're played a lot more and people are reasoning again. They're amazing. Sandy and Sprout are a good example. Second on the list, Infuego here. Amber. I don't know why they decided to buff her again. Were they sad that the nerf to Amber hurt her a little too much? But I don't care, man. She was way too strong, and now she's way too strong again. Her DPS, her like basically auto aim just locks on you. The burn damage. It's crazy. The number one on the list. Then what? Is he the newest brawler? No. Third newest brawler. It was Byron, Edgar, Colonel Ruffs. But either way, the new brawler, Byron. I still haven't even pushed my own Byron to 1,000 trophies yet. He still got nerfed and he's still the best brawler. His quick damage with that super, being able to heal your teammates, being able to poison the enemy teammates. It's utility. Your teammates usually don't die. This stack poison. Crazy long range. Yes, he is squishy. However, you stay in the back and they don't have a way to get to you, it's going to be a nightmare. And he is just so good, especially in the right hands. And Byron, I got to give it to you. You aren't annoying as to face as Tick, and you're not annoying to face as Crow for whatever reason, but you're still too strong. I think he will be nerfed. So if you have Byron, push him now because they're not going to keep him this strong for forever. But he is so good right now, and he's one of those healers slash poison. He like takes mechanics from like everyone basically. Byron's crazy, but let me know guys what you think about the list. Like I said, there are some disagreements I have with Slash on some of the things, but once again, check out Slash channel. Thank you for making the list. It's cool to see from pros perspectives the list on where they think brawlers are as opposed to like us mediocre players and everything. But I hope you guys did enjoy the episode. Be sure to subscribe, stay tuned, use code BT1 in the shop. I'll see you guys later.